Hey guys, it's Bella and welcome to my channel. So for today's video I have my June monthly, and I actually ended up filming this, I think was last Monday or Tuesday, so like the 14th I think, or the 15th, something like that. I filmed this pretty early in comparison to my previous monthly spread, so I filmed this like mid-month exactly, but I just haven't had the time to edit until now, so that's why this is going up sort of closer to the end of the month as usual. So yeah, as always, I'm using a kit from Press, and I did get the deco sidebar, and I just sort of flicked through the kit for you there. So now I'm just going to start putting my spread down. So I did zoom in a little bit, and then I'm just going to put the strips to cover in the days, not in the month, as well as the sort of top strips and the sidebar, which I think I did quite well with lining these things up this month. And I also can't remember if I tried to cut anything off this month. I don't think I did, just because I was having issues with trimming this paper with my slice tool, so I sort of gave up on doing that, and I think it looks alright. But yeah, this spread ended up looking super overwhelming, and since I filmed this I have added a few more things because like a lot has happened in the past couple of weeks. So yeah, this month kind of looks overwhelming. Also here I kind of forgot that there was like extra boxes on the little small page as well that have patterns, well, like not patterns but like decorative boxes, if that makes sense. So I ended up using a pattern because there was 3 days not in the month. So yeah, it kind of looks a bit wonky, but it's fine, it works well. And then I put in the sidebar and the top strip, and then like I said, I will start going to the day by day. And I think at some point my camera does die, so if the sort of angle, like the zoom or whatever, changes, that is why. But as always, the first thing that I'm just putting down is my bills, because I like to just get that out of the way, which I don't like have too many bills. A lot of it is just actually like subscriptions or different things. So like I have my Viki subscription, which is a streaming service, my Apple Music, which is a subscription, and also my iCloud, which is a subscription. And then I had my Etsy bill due this month as well, my health insurance, my phone bill, which I technically pay my dad for my phone bill because my phone is under his account. And then I do also have a charity donation that comes out every month because they do like a raffle each month. So yeah, I think that was all the bills. And then I do basically always end up with one bill due stickerlet, which I usually use to mark in paying for my driving lessons, because I do, well, not me personally, but my parents pay for my driving lessons, I think once a month or so, because I do get like a 10 lesson sort of pack. So yeah, that was all the bills. And then I think I can't remember if I put the holidays in as well, or if I just started with the day by day. Because I did add a couple of the holidays that were in the kit. Obviously I couldn't use all of them because some of the things weren't relevant, like Father's Day in Australia isn't until September, and obviously we're going into winter, not summer, so there was like summer begins, summer solstice, that kind of stuff, so obviously that wasn't relevant. But yeah, so starting off on the Monday, I marked in Payday. I also marked in that Monster X had their comeback, which Monster X is a K-pop group, because I do tend to mark in K-pop releases in my monthly spreads just so I know when to keep up with them, and because I usually go onto, I think it's K-pop Map, it's like a website, and they have like a whole list of like the upcoming releases for the month, and they usually update it as the month goes on and things get announced and whatnot. So yeah, I do like to do that just to keep track of releases, because it can get super overwhelming. Like this month in particular has been a month where a lot of groups have been releasing music and whatnot, and also some new sort of like solo releases as well from members of groups that have since disbanded or whatnot. So yeah, so then I marked in driving as well, because I do also like to mark my driving lessons in my monthlies, because I do my weeklies after the fact. So yeah, that is another reason why I do that. Also here I think is where my camera died, and I was just having problems with this focusing. So yeah, apologies if like the angle, like the zoom has changed, but sometimes I find it really hard to like get my camera to focus for it. I really need a new camera, but it's a work in progress, so yes. So anyway, so I marked in my driving. I also marked in my Pilates membership, which is a recurring payment. So yes, that comes out on Wednesdays. and I am almost at 100 classes at Pilates, which is really, really cool. I have, I think, 4 more classes left to reach like the 100 class mark. We're still sort of considering if we want to continue doing Pilates or sort of switch to something else, because it is quite expensive, unfortunately. But yeah, so I'm not sure if we'll be like continuing it until the springtime or continuing it indefinitely, or what we'll be doing with that. But yeah. And then on the 7th, I marked in that we had a public holiday in my state. It was WA Day, so I just marked that in. And then I also marked in EXO's comeback, which was super exciting, and I really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, and also I think it's today they just announced that Kyungsoo, who's one of the members, will be having his like solo album in July, so that's super exciting. But yeah, and then on the 8th, we had the gardeners coming, so I used a sticker from the GP Studio just to mark that in, and for the car sticker on the 2nd, I think that's from White Rose Principles, I believe. So yeah, and then I also marked in, I think, my job interviews. Did I do that, or did I do that after the fact? I'm not quite sure. Oh, yes, I did mark in my job interview. Yes, I use that little heart icon, which is from Arctic Paper Studio. It's from like her foiled date number sheets. Then on the 9th, Foxtel was repaired because we were having issues with like the HD channels and whatnot. So the repairman came just to check our box and the satellite and whatnot, and he had to move the satellite to like another part of the roof because it was being blocked by the construction next door. So that was fun. What else did I mark in? And then here I'm marking in that I had my telehealth appointment for the immunologist, which I thought was going to be my discharge appointment, but it's actually not. So I do have another one in 6 months' time just to see how everything goes. I think because they want to see how I deal with the springtime, because it's to do with like my allergies, and my allergies are like grass and dust and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, and then I did have a facial that day, which is kind of like a spur of the moment decision because I was going to book it the week of my mum's birthday, but just because I was unsure of how things were going to pan out with my job interviews and anything of that sort, I decided to book it while I still had free time and knew that I had free time. So that was exciting. I got a facial, which I haven't had a facial I think in a while, since probably the beginning of the year or the end of last year. So that icon is from Plan Like a Pro, and the little zoom icon was from the GP Studio. And then Tuesday I forgot to put in payday, which I realized after the fact, and then I kind of ran out of room to put it anyway. But that is the day that Bam Bam had his solo debut. So Bam Bam used to be in GOT7, but GOT7 disbanded, I think, at the beginning of this year, I think. So they're all sort of doing their own solo activities now. But yeah, so then I also had another job interview. I think this was like my second job interview for this particular job. So yeah, because the first interview was like a general interview with the managers of the other stores that were recruiting, and then this was like the interview with like the actual store managers of the store that I was applying for. So that was exciting. And then I did also have a driving lesson that day, so I used, I think, a car icon from Planet Beautiful, which I had left over. And then on the 16th, I had my dentist appointment, which was very, very exciting. But it went quite well, which is good news because I'm always a little bit worried when I go to the dentist. But no, good reviews. I've been cleaning my teeth well, so that's good to hear. And I normally only go twice a year anyway, just for a checkup and a clean. So yeah, nice and straightforward appointment, which was nice. I marked in Hello Winter, seeing as I couldn't use like any of the solstice stickers in the kit, so I sort of had to improvise. So I used this deco sticker, which was from Planet Beautiful, who is no longer open, by the way. And then what else did I mark in? What am I marking in here? And then here I'm marking in a ton of K-pop comebacks that are coming up next Monday. So NCT Dream is having their repackage. 2PM is having their first comeback since like all the members are back from the military now and whatnot, which is super exciting. And then Luna is also having their comeback, which is super exciting. So I will be keeping an eye out for all 3 of those. And then I decided to use a little squared off box for my mum's birthday, because my mum's birthday is next Wednesday, which is the last day of June. And fun fact, is also the same day as Sailor Moon's birthday, if you wanted to know. So yeah, obviously at this point we hadn't planned anything else during the day other than birthday celebrations, so that's why I used it box, which kind of regret doing that now because a few other things have come up on that day, so I've sort of had to squish them in. But yes, so then moving on to the other side of the page, I think that was everything that I like knew of at this point. So moving on to the other side of the page, I marked in getting my flu vaccine at the beginning of the month, and I also have a sticker on the 5th for World Environment Day, which that sticker came with the kit. I did have to Google when it was because obviously I didn't know when it was, so hopefully I got the right date for that, but I think I did according to Google. And then I did mark in the new moon because I do like to mark in the moon phases in my planner, so usually for the new moon I will use the little asterisk that comes on the date dot sheet, and then for the full moon I'll use the flag that comes in the kit. I also had another driving lesson, so I just marked that in. And then that weekend I had an osteopath appointment, which we had booked the last time that we went, and I actually had to call my osteopath and ask when we had booked because I think I wrote it down on my phone or something and somehow deleted it, or we got it written down on a card and Mum lost the card. I don't know, something happened with like where we had actually written down when the appointment was booked, so I did have to call him a few days before and just be like, oh look, I know we have an appointment in the next couple of weeks, if you could tell me which day. So yeah, it ended up being that day, which was actually really, really handy because Mum and I were both a bit sore from Pilates because we have been doing a lot of arm work, and so yeah, I think we just kind of overdid it a little bit with the arm work, and so it was good because we got our sort of shoulders fixed and whatnot. So yes, and then on the 18th I'm marking in Elite Season 4, which I still haven't finished. I have, I think, another 4 episodes to go. It's honestly just been kind of hard for me to watch because I haven't really liked the new characters, and some of the plot points are a bit iffy, but yeah, I don't know. I'll give it a go. I know there's supposed to be a Season 5, I think, so I don't know. We'll see if I end up keeping up with it. I did also mark in 17 having their comeback, and then I did also have a job interview booked on the 18th, although I did end up cancelling that, which I will sort of go into more detail when I do my weekly spread for that week. And then what else? I marked in the full moon. I did mark in the Ultimate Planner sale, which is this weekend, which I'm not quite sure if I will be purchasing anything just because I am on a minimal sort of spend. And I did also add a Juneteenth sticker for last Saturday, which was Juneteenth, because that sticker did come in the kit as well. So yes, I'm trying to think of what else I marked in, but I think that was everything for that side of the page. And then the only thing that I added in on this side of the page was just a K-pop comeback that I had forgotten, I think. Oh no, so here I marked in driving because I did have a driving lesson which ended up being rescheduled, and then here is where I mark in a K-pop comeback because Ace had their comeback on Wednesday, which was the 23rd, which I actually didn't really love the comeback as much as their previous releases. I only really liked one song, but you know, when I do plan these spreads, I usually try to put like the groups that I follow, and obviously like I might not always like the music that they release, but it's still nice to keep up with it and know, I guess, when to expect releases, and then I can sort of decide once I've listened to it if I like it or not. But yeah, I tend to really only mark down the K-pop comebacks of groups that I sort of follow or like know well, and then sometimes I will sort of listen to other groups that I don't know a lot about, but I don't like mark those in my planner even though they come up on the list on K-pop map. So yes, I think here I'm just marking in paydays, which like I said, I forgot to put in a payday on the 15th, I think it was. So yes, and what else am I doing? And then here I wanted to mark in when I got my refund because there was like an issue with booking my flu vaccine, and I had to book as like a private patient even though I normally get my vaccine on like a government schedule because I'm an asthmatic, so I did have to get a refund for that booking, so I just wanted to mark that in as well. And I think that is it. Oh, and then here I am marking in that my mum had an x-ray, which I was technically supposed to go with her, but then because my driving lesson got rescheduled, it ended up being on the Monday at like an unsuitable time for me to go with my mum to her appointment, so yes. But that is pretty much the spread. Obviously, if you see the thumbnail for this video or the post on my Instagram, you'll see it is even more filled out than this. But yes, I'm not joking when I say June has been a very overwhelming month, and is also sort of explaining, well, that sort of also explains why I haven't really been posting videos as much, and why I'm kind of behind. But yes, here is the finished spread. I'm just showing you what I have left from the kit. So I did add some of the deco, and some of the deco does go on my notes pages as well as some of the decorative boxes that are left. But yeah, I only really have a few labels, some icons, and then the holidays that I just couldn't use because they weren't relevant to me specifically. So yeah, that is it for this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Sorry for this mess of a voiceover. I haven't recorded one in a couple of weeks, so I'm a little rusty. But yeah, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. As always, all the shops will be listed down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!
We're going through phases. I wish I could stay, but the seasons are changing. I'm gone. Can't nobody love you like